Being joined by Scott Bullock, the head coach of the Rocky Mountain Lobos. Coach, last year, magical season.
Yes, sir.
5A state championship. What was it like to hold that title at the end of the year?
Oh, man, it's always a lot of fun. I mean, we put a lot of work into it at Rocky Mountain High School. We've won 6 of them in the last 10 years, so that's been really special. We've had a bunch of really good players come through our program, so every one of them's just been a blast.
Well, when you talk about winning 6 of them in the last 10 years or so, since 2007, what was it like winning that first one?
Yeah, magic. That was magical. It's just something as a head coach, you don't know if you're ever going to get the opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of really good coaches that never actually win one. It takes the horses, and it was special for sure. And what a great group of kids that was we had back in 2007.
You go 4 straight as soon as you get that first one. What was the key to your dominance at that time?
Oh, man, we had some really good players. We had really good pitching. We had Marco Gonzalez, who's with the Seattle Mariners now. Marco actually pitched and started in all 4 state championships, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then we had some other really good arms around him. And, man, we just had a bunch of really good players. That was a fun time to be a head coach.
Now you take a look at this season, the turnover from last year to this year. You lose 8 different starters out of your 9 on the field. How do you as a coach compensate for that?
You go out and you work hard. I love that part of coaching, actually. I love the transition. I think it's fun. That's part of high school sports. It's a challenge, and we showed that a little bit today. I mean, we got a long ways to go, but you just, you find the best way to get the most out of every team that you have and every kid that you have, and that's what coaching's all about. So you go work hard at it and do your best.
At the high school level, you've got 4 years to be with a player if they come up to varsity in their freshman season. How do you deal with that quick of turnover?
You know what? You don't. I mean, you don't deal with it. It's just that's the difference between, I guess, coaching high school and maybe, coaching at the pro level. I guess college would be the same way. Sometimes their turnover is even quicker. But, it's just one of those things that you do the best you can, and you teach them the game of baseball, and hopefully you teach them to not only be a good player but also a good person, and enjoy, do it with passion.
When you talk about coaching these players, not just as players but also people, when you see people exceed, like you mentioned, Marco Gonzalez now with the Mariners, how does that make you feel as their coach?
Oh, man, that's special. But you know what? It's not just guys that go play pro baseball or make it to the big leagues. I get the same joy out of, I got 2 coaches on staff right now that played for me, and watching them work with players now and the type of men they are. I mean, that's special too. Or, we got players that have come through our program that are doctors now. That's special. So, I mean, it's all part of being a high school coach and what I love about it.
How close are you to the alumni who have gone through your program?
That's a great question. We actually are very close. It's an open door policy with all of our alumni. We encourage them to come out to the field and practice and hit or do whatever we can as much as possible. And in the fall, we run a great alumni event that's probably my favorite weekend out of the year. So it's always great to reconnect with those guys.
When you reconnect with them, are you just talking to them about the good old days when they played for you, or are you talking about their successes now?
Both, yeah, both. Probably more about the good old days, but it's always fun to catch up with them.
In all your time of coaching, how has the high school level baseball changed in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I tend to believe it hasn't changed that much. I think that, obviously the big league, the major league games changed a little bit. You see less of the fundamentals. You see less of bunting and those type of things. But and these guys are going to do what they see on TV. But overall, I mean, really, to me, kids haven't changed that much, and baseball hasn't changed that much.
When you look at your current team, you mentioned earlier that just a little bit young. Now you're having to look at a whole new pitching staff with the exception of Sam Sanchez. Mm-hmm. How do you look forward to this rest of the season after the Anaheim Lions tournament?
Oh, man, I know it's cliche, but it's one game at a time. It's one pitch at a time right now for us. I mean, we're that young, we're that new, so we're really doing a lot of coaching right now, and our kids are doing a good job. They're staying focused. I thought today we came out and we played really tight. We just didn't play as loose as we needed to. I think that showed by how many good pitches we took at the plate. I mean, we had to be close to 20 called strikes in that game. We just weren't very aggressive, but. I mean, that's what we're working on. That's what we're coaching them on. They're 16 and 17-year-old kids, and it doesn't happen overnight.
When you talk about them being 16, 17-year-old kids, of course, that still means that they are in high school baseball. But the first part of that statement, high school. Yep. You mentioned before the game when we were talking to you that you wanted them to miss as few days of academics as possible. How do you stress the academic portion of student-athlete?
Hard. Yeah, it's very important to us. Our kids, for the most part, do a really good job in the classroom, and that's something we work hard at, making sure that our players are good citizens and good students both. And, that's a big deal because, hey, at the end of the day, that's probably what's going to be most important in their life. They may have a chance to get paid and make a little bit of money at this game, but for the most part, that academic piece is going to be the most important thing.
Well, we'd like to thank you and wish you the best of luck for the rest of this season. And we hope that you succeed here at the Anaheim Lions Tournament.
You know what? I really appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. I don't think there's enough coverage in high school sports these days. So to come, all the way to California and see you guys out here streaming this game and doing this afterwards, that makes me really appreciate you guys. So thank you.
Thank you. Once again, we are being joined by Scott Bullock, head coach of the Rocky Mountain Lobos, here on SportsNetUSA.net.